You're watching Business Live. We're going to start with health, and you can guess why. It's because the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show is coming up in the next 2 days. Well, let's talk about health insurance, and private health insurance for that matter has become an alternative for some people due to the poor quality and erratic nature of healthcare. It's more costly than public insurance, and that's perhaps the reason a majority of Ghanaians don't subscribe to private insurance. We're about to show you a story that would captivate you. We'll be hearing from the CEO of health tech startup Service Hub Limited. That startup is offering financial solutions for especially women so they can benefit from healthcare. In a bit, we'll be speaking to Dr. Elvis Kumaforsen, who is the CEO. But first, this report by Odilia Ntiamwa.
The arrival of this bundle of joy may not necessarily bring happiness to every mother, as bills not covered by the NHIS pile up. For some mothers, they have to spend several days in the hospital without being discharged. The reason is simple: lack of money to settle their bills. We are at the Mamobi Polyclinic, where Rose Tete is attending her antenatal for her third child. She tells me Dr. Forsen will this time save her some embarrassment.
So it's like when I was in the lumbar ward, I have to go, and then the nurses will give me something. Do you have this? I say no. Do you have this? I say no. So they will give me something. Then at the end of the day, when it's time for them to collect their money, I was not having it. So what happened is, when somebody came, maybe somebody comes there to visit me, and they say, oh, okay, take this for this, then I'll use it to support. Take this for this, then I'll use it to...
That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Yes.
So you didn't want this embarrassment again?
My dear, that is it.
Insurance and good, but Musa nim say insurance was whole, insurance in the whole. Musa in here sika.
Dr. Forsen began Trimester Save less than 9 months ago, and the motivation is to save mothers the embarrassment of not being able to settle their bills after delivery, and midwives at the hospital also the frustration of dealing with such patients.
Well, that was about a year ago when we featured this tech startup on the Joy Business Van, and since then, Service Hub Limited has signed on about 1,000 women. CEO Dr. Elvis Kumaforsen is in the studio with me. Congratulations, first of all, on the milestone.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff. Well, so first of all, tell us about the challenges to healthcare and how private health insurance can be supported.
Yes, so the challenges in healthcare, abounds, and private healthcare insurance can come in at at various levels. We are coming in at the bottom of the pyramid with some, true innovation, which is very important at the bottom of the pyramid. And so that innovation is to bundle insurance with an actual savings program. The reason for this is that we know that one of the reasons why many do not do insurance is because of the lack of instant, gratification. Why should I insure? So the idea, and that's where we started this program from, is to get the mothers to just carry out normal savings from the beginning of their pregnancy, and they can cash out this amount of money at the time of delivery. This does not replace regular insurance, but it covers some additional costs that the mother may incur. Then from then on, she can then subscribe to insurance product. So it's bundling of the services so they can have the best of both worlds.
All right, you heard me talk about cost at the beginning of the program, and that's a major issue. And I realize that these women are not even middle-class women, if you like. How are they able to afford it?
Yes, the truth of the matter is everybody spends, every day, and you tend to be mistaken if you say that women cannot afford it because you just classify them as poor. So our strategy is to just give them a savings channel where they can put money aside every day. So you know about the Susu system, for example, where people go who maybe trade, just put money aside every day.
Okay.
Although they are poor, they still do it towards a target. And by the way, women are better at that than men. And so it's that's the approach that we use, and they are able to save. We don't put any limits to get the amounts they want.
But the concerns about cost, are they legit? Are they legitimate concerns?
The concerns about cost are legitimate, if for nothing at all, for the sake of unpredictability. So you don't know what you might need at the time of delivery. You do not even have, like we saw in the story, you do not have the exact timing. So if you give birth 2 weeks before time, a week after time, it's still a normal delivery. And so the sheer fact of the unpredictability of the time you will deliver itself has its risk as far as your finances are concerned. So those concerns are legitimate based on timing and based on the actual cost of spending as well.
And so you're targeting pregnant women, but that's just a fraction of the population and people who need access to healthcare. And I guess from 1,000, I want to ask you 2 questions in one. From 1,000, where next for your startup?
Yes, so we are targeting pregnant women because at that time we feel that we can hold on to them for at least 9 months, where we have a focused product for them. But the truth is that after delivery, they can start on regular microinsurance, which we are putting out. The truth is that in the long term, we want all women to come on board for various reasons. And the next step, I've said that 1,000 brings 1 million into view, which is actually the number of births per year in Ghana. So for each of these 1,000, there are 1,000 more out there whom we are going after.
All right, and there's a bit more about how we would fix the challenges in our healthcare system. Of course, time wouldn't allow us, but we hope to have that conversation sometime later. Talk about private health insurance in general and how we need to fix the loopholes in the system right now. Thanks very much indeed, Dr. Elvis Kumar-Force, and thanks for making time for us tonight on Business Live. Well, still on health issues, the increasing awareness to stay healthy through regular scheduled exercises is gaining popularity across the country. Now, apart from aerobics and other healthy lifestyle practices, swimming has become one of the trending exercises being adopted by both youth and the aged in recent times. It's not only useful for exercise purposes, but also creating several job opportunities. While ahead of the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show, my colleague Charles Aiche has been exploring the impact of swimming.
Over the past few years, the culture of staying healthy has caught up with many people across the country, especially in urban areas. Initially, the craze was with gym centers, but now it's changing to swimming pools.
The art of swimming is catching up faster with the younger generation here in Ghana. But the business of it is what matters most to several people out there who say that swimming in itself has its own health benefits as well as its business angle.
Earlier, I embarked on an online search for a swim instructor who would guide me through all I need to know about the swimming industry in Ghana. I chanced upon Swim Easy, a swim school which is equipping many people with swimming skills. Kenneth Quanti Papafio is a university graduate. He came up with his own swim agency, Swim Easy. Busy with a swim class session, I asked him how lucrative the job of a swim instructor is.
Give and take, you can earn a good living like a graduate that is working in a bank or anything. Yeah.
So like how much? Help us know the estimate. So on a good day, how much do you make?
On a good day in a month, I can make up to 3,000, 4,000.
It was quite refreshing partaking of his swim class. But what are the health benefits of swimming?
You know, swimming, though it's a leisure activity, but after swimming, there's some kind of relaxation. Okay, it helps your mind, it helps you to relax, and you can rethink. Okay, so it's the best form of exercise and the best form of distressing.
Swimming is an exercise for people of all ages. It can be easy and inexpensive, and a person can go at their own pace. It helps you to stay in shape. But the benefits go beyond just physical upkeep, but also enhancing your mental alertness.
I find that it's really relaxing.
Precious Okine-Sosu is an auditor by profession who swims for health. He spends between 500 to 1,000 cedis a month on this routine exercise. For him, this has been an investment he never regrets making.
I could say between 500 and 700, yeah.
Is it a month or what?
Yes, an estimate, yeah. I think it's very, very useful. I'm a business person, so I would say it's a very profitable investment.
Swimming engages almost every major muscle group, requiring the person to use their arms, their legs, their torso, and their stomach. For Memunat Shaibu, swimming has helped her manage arthritis. She finds no fault in investing heavily on this activity.
So why the choice to swim?
Because it boosts my immune system and it's about the health benefit. I love to swim.
The business of swimming is picking up fast in the urban centers of Ghana. To enjoy a 4-hour swim at any swimming pool, you must be looking at spending between 200 and 500 cedis, depending on the location of the exercise.
It is quite clear that the culture of swimming has both sides to the angle, the business angle as well as the health benefits, not just to yourself, but to those around you. I'm Charles Aite for Joy Business.
All right, let's get you a health tip for today.
Welcome to today's Joy Business Health and Wellness Tip. Migraine is our topic for today. Migraine is a severe painful headache that occurs due to certain physiologic changes that takes place in the brain. It usually occurs in one side of the brain and can be experienced as pounding in the brain, but many people experience pains on both sides. The Joy Business Health and Wellness Tip is brought to you by New Crystal Health Services Limited, growing together in good health.
Alrighty, so we are building up momentum to the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show. Make sure you are there on the 30th of May and follow the discussion on leading the charge for a healthcare revolution, research, technology, and innovation for sustainable growth. The time is 11 a.m. at the National Theatre here in Accra. And some of the speakers for the event are Dr. Oforia Mankwa, Director of Medical Services, Focus Hospital, Professor Abraham Kwapna Anand, Director, Noguchi Medical Research Institute, Eugene Bwedu, Head Corporate Affairs and Pedigree. The guest speaker is Mrs. Dela Simimi Dako, CEO of Food and Drugs Authority. And the guest speaker is the Minister for Health, Kweku Ajmamenu. The Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show is supported by Crystal Health Services Limited, Growing Together in Good Health, Health Link, and Healthy Man and Woman Farm Farmer Trust Limited, East Cantonment Pharmacy Limited, Quality Service Simply Delivered, and is endorsed by the Ministry of Health. All right, Cocoa Board is considering issuing a dollar-denominated bond in the coming months. In the midst of a high debt profile as a result of numerous syndication loans, the proposed $2 billion bond is intended to get the organization financially viable. Speaking to Joy Business, Deputy CEO in charge of Finance and Administration, Ray Anchor, said the move will make Cocoa Board a highly competitive entity in the future.
That we have put in place to ensure that we can embed sound financial discipline in the culture of Cocoa Board. Then the spin-off from that is this issue of trying to come up with some sort of a long-term bond over 20 years, possibly 15 to 20 years, that will enable us to take care of some of the legacy issues that we have inherited. Once you do that, you're able to reduce the financing costs, because some of these, cocoa bills or legacy debts that we have inherited, were issued at very high interest rates. And that is a problem, that is a challenge for Cocoa Board. And so we've been having discussions with various financial institutions, and surprisingly, there is quite a lot of interest in this area. People are engaging with us to see how best we can structure something that will ensure that we borrow some money from the international markets, take care of some of our local cocoa bills, which is at very high interest rates, and come up with some sort of a collateral whereby we use our crop going forward for the next 10, 15 years to secure this facility.
Has begun a 4-year program to modernize technology and science curricula of the University of Mines and Energy and the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. This forms part of a deal with these two institutions to develop their capacity to meet new trends in the mining sector. Speaking to Joy Business after a short ceremony to sign the deal, Human Resources Manager at Newmont, Ghana, Awo Saki, said the move is in line with the company's commitment to bridge the skills gap and increase collaboration between academia and industry.
It is in the belief of the Association of Ghana Industries that a perfect collaboration between academia and industry will help solve the growing graduate unemployment rate in the country. Newmont Ghana has developed a university strategy to streamline the efforts of students in getting better knowledge about the mining industry before completing school. Vice President in charge of Human Resources at Newmont, Awo Saki, explains the importance of your partnership with the two tertiary institutions.
Over the years, that's where we get our mining talent, mining geology, geomatics, and metallurgy. So we've partnered with them so we can start to seed the knowledge from the ground up. So we can start to influence the curriculum so that by the time the students graduate, they're graduating with relevant technologies, relevant processes, and ways of doing business with us. Our intention is to, with UMAT in particular, to go beyond the university to the secondary school system and to start to work with the young people, especially the females, earlier on to attract them to the mining industry. We feel that's the only way we'll get people coming out who want to join us and other mining companies as well with the relevant skills, relevant knowledge.
She also explains what specific support it will be providing to the institutions.
There's always money involved, I would say, because the academic institutions require funding in order to support and grow their program. So we know that that's involved, but we also want to make sure that it's a mutual relationship. So we are prepared to support research and development, support purchasing of computers. In fact, we've done that in the past to support programs for various reasons. And we want to make sure that we are getting that quid pro quo as well. So yes, there'll be funding of and support of programs and other things like that.
The deal hopes to improve efforts by government to reduce unemployment in the mining communities.
Producers of nutritional dairy products, Promasidor Ghana Limited, says it would consistently deliver quality products in order to deal with the influx of cheaper ones. Now, the company says this is part of measures to safeguard its hard-earned image as a quality consumer goods supplier. Managing Director of Promasidor Ghana Limited, the parent company of the cowbell brand, Festus Tete, said this at a media launch of the 20th anniversary of cowbell, which was on the theme 20 years of nourishing bodies, minds and dreams.
Decades, Cowbell, the flagship brand of Promasidor Ghana Limited, has provided a wide range of dairy products to meet the nutritional needs of Ghanaians. The emergence of the brand on the market sought to provide dairy products at affordable pricing in convenient packaging. But like any other consumables, the entry of other cheaper alternatives onto the Ghanaian market has had a toll on the operations of the company. At the launch of Cowbell's 20th anniversary celebration, Managing Director of Promasidor, Festus Tete, explains what's being done to manage the situation.
I believe that is a threat to not only us but many other brands on the market, where you have influx of copies from Asia, especially China. But the key is delivering consistent quality and ensuring that you have a strong distribution network and endearing yourself to your community or your consumers out there. Doing that builds bonds that cannot be broken by all the cheap imports. And so we've had or stayed, have our head above water, even though we've faced this menace. But we have been pretty strong, and we've been able to weather the storm.
Head of commercials at Promasidor, Samir Sadawi, highlights the strides the company has made in the country since its establishment.
A major contributing factor to this social health problem was the inability of a good number of people in society to afford basic nutrition meals for their children. In 1999, and through its vision and mission, Promasidor launched the Cowbell brand milk.
Cowbell has been a socially responsible communal brand and has over 2 decades of existence invested in varying community support initiatives. Delivering on the future project, the brand manager of Cowbell, Joseph Ashon, highlights some activities to mark the celebration.
Cowbell is fully sponsoring the drilling of 20 boreholes for selected extremely deprived communities across the country. We will commemorate this year's World Milk Day by donating over 200,000 Cowbell milk sachets to selected pediatric units across the country to help children under malnourished. Cowbell will launch a new initiative which will focus on the cognitive development of the school child. This new initiative, by name Cowbellpedia.
Beneficiaries of the brand sponsorships shared some goodwill messages. The Cowbell 20th anniversary celebration is themed 20 years of nourishing bodies, minds and dreams. Besma Kawusa's report for Joy Business.
All right, that's it for Business Live tonight. We want to remind you of the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show, which begins on the 30th of May, this Thursday to Saturday, the 1st of June. The discussion on Thursday will be on leading the charge for a healthcare revolution, research, technology, and innovation for sustainable growth. The time is 11 a.m. at the National Theatre here in Accra. It's not going to be just about talk, but it's going to be fun as well. We have aerobics on Saturday, 6 a.m. sharp. I'm going to be there. I'm going to try to work out and burn off some fat. My name is Darryl Carl. Thanks for watching tonight.